The House of Commons voted overwhelmingly to back Boris Johnson's plan for a snap election to break the deadlock over Brexit. It will be the country's first December poll since 1923.
After months of resistance, Labor leader Jeremy Corbyn backed the trigger bill when the EU extended the Brexit deadline until the end of January. With the latest, Europe correspondent Samantha Hawley joins us now from London. Sam, I think in the last 4 years they've had 2 general elections and a referendum on Brexit, and now another general election ahead. What's happened?
Yes, and to make matters worse, they're making people vote just before Christmas, so that might not go down too well with some voters, I think, Lisa, given the dark dampness that will be across the UK at that time of year. But yes, the House of Commons has voted overwhelmingly for an election on December the 12th. It was ayes 438, noes just 20, so that's a pretty definitive message from the House of Commons that an election is now either needed or wanted, but nevertheless the UK people will be heading to the polls, and there will now be 6 weeks of furious campaigning. Boris Johnson has just addressed members of his party, and he has told them it will be a very tough fight. The Conservative Party, Lisa, is ahead in the opinion polling at the moment, but when there's that shadow of Brexit, really anything can happen.
And Sam, this may seem like a simple question, but what is the campaign going to be about?
Well, of course, it will be dominated by Brexit. Each party will have their own platform. Of course, Boris Johnson already has his 3-word slogan, which is "Get Brexit Done." But the opposition, of course, the Labor opposition, says that it will be campaigning for a second referendum. The Liberal Democrats, for instance, want to get rid of Brexit altogether. So Brexit will be the dominant issue. It will be a Brexit election. But of course, this is a general election, so there will be other issues that will come to the fore. Education, for instance, law and order. That's been a very big issue in the UK and here, particularly in London. And all those sort of domestic issues will, of course, also play a part. But this really is, I think, a Brexit election.
And Theresa May went into 2017 thinking she was going to have a landslide and then it would all be quite easy. What are the polls suggesting Boris Johnson faces?
Well, that's right. The snap election didn't go very well for Theresa May, so it is pretty risky, I think, for Boris Johnson, even though the polls do show that the Conservative Party is about 10 points ahead of the Labor opposition. Labor hasn't been in power in this country for a very long time now. But that said, opinion polls can be wrong, and this is a very volatile moment in this nation's political history. Voters, I think, are pretty fatigued. As you mentioned, they've been to the polls quite a few times in the last 4 years. So I don't think anyone would be absolutely confident to say that the Conservative Party will absolutely win this. The polls are showing that at the moment, but things could very easily change.